Welcome to Crazy Shit the Quran Says Too, exposing the outrageous immorality contained within its pages. The Quran like you've never seen it before. This video series dives headfirst into the pages of the Quran, examining the passages that over 1 billion people consider to be the word of a god. If you believe in this big book of ancient fantasy, then you ought to know about all the immoral things it has to say. In an effort to upload more video content more often, going forward I will be creating shorter videos highlighting and critiquing a single Quranic passage at a time. The plan is to upload a new video of a different series each and every week for you to enjoy. This week's reading is brought to you by Cactus Jam. You can find his Facebook page here. And now, on with the show. This episode's Quran passage can be found in chapter 4, verse 15.
As for those of your women who are guilty of lewdness, call to witness 4 of you against them.
And if they testify to the truth of the allegation, then confine them to the houses until death take them, or until Allah appoint for them a way from new legislation.
Translation.
For those women who excite in others sexual desires or have engaged in forbidden sexual intercourse, call forth 4 witnesses. If the woman admits to her sexual misconduct, then lock her up in her home until she dies, or until an imaginary sky daddy provides an alternative punishment.
Yet another example of religion's unhealthy obsession with sexuality, especially when it pertains to women. This passage illustrates the punishment to be bestowed onto women if they engage in sexual acts not deemed acceptable by Bronze Age desert men. Firstly, why ought anybody care what some wandering ancient desert nomad thought was acceptable sexual behavior? Is it because he claimed to be speaking on behalf of a disembodied spirit being who created space and time? I don't care who he claimed to be the mouthpiece for. His claim, just like those of every preacher, pastor, priest, or self-proclaimed prophet, ought to be dismissed outrightly until such time that the claim can be demonstrated to be true. Secondly, why such a harsh punishment for anything and everything from flirting on one hand to consensual extramarital adult sexual intercourse on the other? What 2 consenting adults do is their own business, and I just don't understand why anyone, let alone the imagined creator of the entire cosmos, cares. Thirdly, what is not apparent from this reading is the inequality between the sexes for the same perceived crime. Men who misbehave can simply repent and be sent on their merry way, while women are left imprisoned in their homes for life. A life sentence for women and a pat on the back for men. If you were to step back from this nonsense and engage the text within the historical context from which it was born, it is easy to see how and why such immorality was born and codified. The Quran was not revealed to Muhammad through the angel Gabriel by a god, but instead was written and compiled by the minds and hands of men. Being a product of the time and place, it is not at all surprising to see the values and social conventions of the time being praised. Let me set the stage. A patriarchal society who considered women to be little more than chattel property, where harsh and unbalanced judgment unfairly favored one category of human over another based upon genitalia, where much of the knowledge of the universe we take for granted today was unknown, where primitive, ignorant, superstitious men followed slightly more clever, primitive, ignorant, superstitious men into beliefs of unseen forces at work. From this came an entirely uninspired work of fiction that nearly 2 billion people today consider beyond reproach. My Muslim critics will accuse me of reading out of context or reading the wrong translation. However, if they were to be honest, they would admit that no critical analysis of the text is acceptable or even possible, because they have been so entirely indoctrinated into their beliefs that seeing the Quran as being anything less than perfect is unimaginable. I may not be a scholar or have the ability to read the Quran in Arabic, but I can still address the content of the message and what I find is unfit for civilized life in the 21st century. Want to appear in a future video? I love fan contributions and helping other YouTubers get much needed attention and subscribers. So if you would like to send me a video reading of a stupid YouTube comment, Bible passage, or a verse from the Quran for a future video, email me at veganatheist@hotmail.com. Looking for a great place to communicate with vegans, atheists, theists, and non-vegans from across the globe? Consider joining the Vegan Atheist Forum. Our growing community is always looking for new members with whom we can share our experiences, debate issues, discuss and learn from each other. Join the conversation at theveganatheist.com/forum. This week's bonus verse. When someone claims that the Quran is mere fables, we will brand him on the nose.
What the fuck was that?